Yes, so welcome everybody to our infographic crash course. We will, there's the last one. Hi, Espen. So from this presentation, it will be Willow and Emily and me from CU. Willow and Emily are working with marketing and production in CU, while I'm working with training. So together we will have a presentation about what's the infographics all about, show you a quick demo, and I'll talk to you on how we can use this in training. So the agenda for this hour is that we're gonna, as I said, talk about what's an infographic and then what kind of formats and variations we have, and Willow will go through that one. And then Emily will show us Canva, the actual tool we are using, and a quick demo. And then I'll talk about infographic and how it can be used in training, and show also how it can be used in the LMS. And then at the end, call to action and any questions. But don't hesitate to stop us or anything if you have any questions as we go along. So yeah, Willow?
Awesome, thank you, Stina. So an infographic is simply a visual representation of information or data. The goal is to make complicated information easy to understand at a glance. Infographics are used to quickly communicate a message and simplify the presentation of large amounts of data. Infographics are nothing new. They actually predate the web by about 32,000 years. Cave drawings are probably the earliest known examples, depicting animals and other resources in the surrounding as visual representations of data. But infographics have only recently increased in popularity due to the rise in easy-to-use free tools that are now available on the market. So as you guys can see here, infographics are everywhere, and we're exposed to them daily in our public lives. Traffic signs, subway maps, tag clouds, musical scores, and weather charts are just a few examples. In newspapers, infographics are commonly used to show the weather, maps, and graphs or summaries of data. While in the business world, infographics are used by high levels of management for high-level views of data. And as the amount of data in the enterprise and elsewhere increases, infographics are being used more and more frequently to help people understand the information contained in that data and to help break through the noise when communicating to an audience. So traditionally, infographics were static representations of data or information, such as the first example shown of the cave drawing. However, infographics have evolved and are still evolving into many different formats, such as interactive, video, and animated. The main two formats that we are working with are static and animated, which I have listed and shown here. Static are the most common and easy to create and share. We are creating ours in Canva, and there are many other free tools available on the market. We're also creating animated infographics, these are also referred to as gifographics, and these we're creating in conjunction with our designer. So you can see the one on the far right here is an example of a gifographic that we recently created and shared on a blog post on the corporate blog. And as you guys can see here, within this gifographic, there are just small moving elements to help grab the reader's attention and to illustrate the message and to really kind of drive it home. So here you can see our designer has created these illustrations for us, and then together with our video producer, they've animated these elements so that there's small movements throughout it. And this is a great way to grab the reader's attention. So these are really fun and becoming more and more popular. So as well as different formats, there are lots of different types of infographics, and most free tools include easy to adapt templates. Here I just wanted to highlight a few of these and show some examples of what is possible. So I know you guys are working with developing training materials such as recertification video tutorials, step-by-step tutorials, and release notes, among other things, of course. So I've tried to choose examples that I felt could work for you guys. So the first one I've listed here is a mixed chart. And this includes a variety of different charts and graphs to communicate data. and it's used to make facts and statistics more interesting to absorb. So you can see I've included some examples, and one on the far right is one that Emily created in a blog series that we had in conjunction with the lead up to Christmas last year, and it communicates lots of different statistics, facts and figures, and it makes it much more interesting and easy to absorb when it's presented in this way. So the next one I've chosen is the list, or what's also referred to as listographics, and these are used to support a claim through a series of steps or simply list information about a subject. So you can see I've shown some examples here, and the one that I have on the far right is one that I created for Visma e-accounting to illustrate 5 time-saving features of the solution. So here it really forces you to think outside of the box and to really break down the information to ensure that what you're saying is concise, and I think also by adding small illustrations or icons, it helps to kind of grab the reader's attention and to drive the message home. But the goal of lists is the written text, and that's where the focus is, but different color schemes and icons help to kind of illustrate and grab attention. And the next one that I've chosen here is the timeline. So the timeline tells a story through a chronological flow and looks at how a subject has changed over time. So you can see, again, I've shown some examples here, and the one on the far right is one that I created in conjunction with the World Backup Day, and this shows the data backup evolution. And as you can see here, the text has really been refined, so the messaging is really clear and concise, and it's emphasized by supporting illustrations and icons, which again help to grab attention. And then the next one that I've chosen is the how-to, which I thought is really relevant for you guys, it's the how-to or the step-by-step guide. So this just shows a guide to creating something, and it's used to show the steps involved. So the example that we have on the right here is one that Stina created to show how to create a video tutorial. And you can see how little information or little text there is, and how nice it is to have that text illustrated by small icons or illustrations. So this one I thought was really relevant for you guys. And the next one that I've chosen to highlight is the flowchart or process, which basically starts at a single point and looks at how different points branch off based on different decisions. And it provides answers to questions via reader choice. So there's lots of different examples and lots of different ways to present this, but I thought this could be relevant regarding recertification flows or other processes that you guys are working with. The next one that I've highlighted is the comparison or versus. So this compares 2 things. So for example, in a head-to-head study, and it's used to kind of highlight differences or similarities and make comparisons between 2 products, people, ideas, or things. So the examples here you can see kind of engaged learners versus disengaged learners, artists versus scientists, Netflix versus Redbox, and there's lots of different ways. Like here you could, for example, compare 2 different products that we're working with. So there's lots of ways that this could be used, I think, with what we're producing. And the last one that I want to highlight is the visual article. And this basically makes a piece of writing more visual, and it's used to cut down on text, increase sharing potential and interest, and make a plain article more interesting. So you can see on the right here, I've highlighted 2 blog posts that we've done that we've incorporated infographics into, and these infographics that we've created in Canva, and in doing so we've managed to cut down the text within the blog to just a few paragraphs, and the main message is kind of driven home through the illustrations and the message within the infographic. So those are the main ones that I wanted to highlight, but there are a lot more out there. So you'll see that when Emily does the demonstration, there are a lot of different types that can be used, but I thought those ones the most relevant for you guys. So then on the next slide, I just wanted to highlight what I thought could work for you guys, because what you choose will depend on how you want to organise your information and what type of training material you're creating. And Stina provided me a few examples of what you guys are working with. And then I just thought, for example, release notes could be nice to present as a visual article or a list style infographic, or a step-by-step tutorial could be presented as a how-to or step-by-step style infographic. So the reason infographics are so effective is that 90% of all information transmitted to our brains is visual. People remember 80% of what they see, but only 20% of what they read. So infographics are only going to increase in popularity, as they're a great tool to help us visualize and drive home our message. So as we've mentioned, we're using Canva to create infographics and have an account, so we're happy to help assist you guys in the process of getting started. So Emily's now going to do a demo to show you guys how Canva works.
Hey guys, this is Emily. I'm going to first walk you through what Canva is, and then I'll do a quick demo of how it can be used. So basically, like Willow said, Canva is a tool that is used to create documents, and it's a drag and drop feature and professional layouts to design stunning graphics. So many designers use Photoshop and they start with a blank page, but Canva is the opposite. Users don't have to be professional designers. They can start off with a completed design and then tweak it to fit their needs. So what you see here on the screen is a screenshot of the Canva homepage, which I'll go into later. But it's a really great tool because, like I said, it has lots of templates that are already created for you, and then you can really easily and quickly customize it to be what you need. So Canva includes everything you need to customize your design, including free images, photo filters, icons and shapes, and hundreds of fonts. And now I'm going to do a quick demo on Canva for you so you can see it in action. So this is the home page. Since I'm already logged in, I don't need to log in again. And right here you can see a few of the most popular designs that people use. It is used a lot for social media, presentations, email headers, Facebook posts, A4 posters, and whatnot. And for some reason it doesn't want to load my designs, but if it did, you would see my designs right here that we've created in the past. So the commercial unit has a team profile, or like an account, and we all log into it and are able to use it and share our different designs and tweak it and get each other's feedback. So here they are. So you can see the things we've created in the past. And on the homepage, you can see the different things that have been shared with you, your team members, your brand, and explore the templates. You can also use custom dimensions, so if you know the size that you want your infographic to be, you can do that. But what we usually do is we use the infographic that is already created for us. So if we can scroll down here, just take a look at everything that's available. It's a lot to choose from, which is really, really fun. But we're going to stick with the infographic, which is on top. Here. So now this is the first step in creating your infographic. On the left-hand side, you can see all of the different types of templates you can choose from. So the first thing you need to decide is the type of infographic you want to create. Is it the flowchart, the how-to, the list, the comparison, or the step-by-step? And then you can just browse through the templates. You can search. You can search infographics at the top and then see what comes up. So these are different elements that can be used in the infographic. And they're all free, or most of them are free. There are some that cost money, and you'll see in the bottom right-hand corner if they cost money or not. These are free. And I already have one ready for us to look through. So here are a few examples of the different kinds of infographic templates that can be edited. The first one is a flowchart. We'll just wait for it to load. It's usually not this slow. I'm not sure why it is. But the first one is a flowchart, which you guys could use for recertification videos. My favorite one is the how-tos. The how-tos can be creative and fun. It's really important to break up the text and be really clear with when you're going to start a new step. So here you can see step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. They're bold and they're large, and the text is broken up with different background colors. And it just effortlessly guides the reader down the page. How to train your dog, how to enjoy a college party. So you can get really creative with these, as you can see. And you can use colors, you can use black and white, as long as it's, like I said, very clear about where the reader's eye is supposed to go next. So these are just some examples that I chose. And this, for example, when you see the Canva watermark here, that means that this is an image that you would have to pay for. So you can either choose to pay $1 for the image, or you can simply switch it out by clicking on elements here, free photos, and then you drag and drop. So let's find another photo that we like. You can use this one, drag it and drop it, and it just fits right there if it wants to. It doesn't want to. But, okay, I can do that later. So let's choose one to mess around with a bit. We can go to How to Train Your Dog. If we want to change the title, we just double click here and go How to Get Started with Visma.net. And then we can highlight it, change the size to 21 since it's a bit more text. And then we can change the font to the Visma font, which is Sans Source Pro. And we have that down here. So since we have a paid version, we pay $12 a month, and with that we were able to upload the Visma font and then also the Visma colors, the palettes. So as you can see, we have the blues, the greens, and the purples. And I think it's really important to follow the Visma brand guidelines when creating these, because it just offers a really good guidance on how to make sure that what you're creating is aligned with the Visma brand and that it looks good and is pleasing to the viewer's eye. So if we used a purple background with black text, it's not easy to read, it's probably not going to grab anyone's attention, and it won't align with Visma's brand. So we can change the text like that, and then we can easily remove this dog image by just highlighting it and then clicking the delete button. Same with this text, highlight it, delete it, and then if we go over to elements, we can try to choose some different icons. So we'll click icons here, and then you can search. So let's search for computer, and you see some free computer icons show up, and then some that you can pay for. So let's choose this one. So you can either drag and drop it or click on it and it will just drop itself on the page. So this one isn't free. It says it's free, but it's not. And then we can just resize it to fit the page so it fits there. And then since I don't want it in front of the text, we can arrange it by just clicking back. And now it's behind. And we can move this a little bit. And then if you want to change this icon, it's just the same. It's really simple. It's drag and drop, press delete. You can edit the text here by selecting it. Wait. And there are also the undo and redo buttons up here at the top. And if we want to change the background to be a Visma color, one thing that the brand book recommends is sticking to one color palette. It's a little bit limiting, but it does ensure that it all matches. So it's up to you with what you would like to do. And then we can change the background text to white so it stands out on the dark blue. It's just being a little slow. We'll do a light gray. So then we can change, say we want to change this paw image to an image of, maybe not. We can not change the paw image. But I think you guys get the picture of how easy it is to use. So once you're done using this, you can zoom out and see how you like it as a whole. So we'll just scroll up a little bit. So there it is, number 3. Obviously it's not complete, we just worked on the top part, but we went from it looking like this to this within minutes. And another nifty tool is using these lines that help you align it with the middle of the page or the middle of the section. So you can see that tiny little purple line, that means it's in the middle. If I move it down, it's not in the middle anymore. So those are really nice to use. And then you can share it on your social media, or you can send it via email. You can get the link so other people who have access to Canva can view it. Or you can download it to your computer by clicking download. And I usually download it as a PNG, but you can do JPEG, PDF, animated GIF movie. That one's new. It's really cool that they have that. And if you have multiple pages like we do on this example, be sure to just click enter in number 3 if that's the only one you want downloaded. And then you click download, and it will automatically save into your downloads. So there it is.
Questions?
Are there any questions on the demo? Well, I guess it was really clear then. That's good. It's a very, very simple tool. It's easy to customize, it's simple, it's fast, it's free. It's a great way to grab the reader's attention and drive the message home. And just to reiterate what Willow said, 80% of people remember what they see, but in order for them to remember, it has to be something that looks good, is appealing to the eye, and when they see it, they should know that it is a part of the Visma brand. And so I have a link to the Visma brand book here, and what I do is I have just created a bookmark on my desktop for where this is, so anytime I need the colors, I just come here and I go to the palette, and here you see all of the colors, and you can simply highlight the web code, which can be entered in to Canva with no problem. So if we highlight the text, click here and then add color, just paste it into the color code, and there we have the light purple. That's all I have. I hope that this was useful and insightful and helpful for you guys. Feel free to email me questions anytime with Canva. Thank you.
So I'll take the last part about infographics and training. So humans are visual creatures. Most of us process information based on what we see. Actually, 65% of us are visual learners. Our brain is mainly an image processor and not a word processor. And research show that we process visual information 60 times faster than written text. So visuals are more concrete and more easily remembered for us, and research show that it decreases the learning time and increases the learning or the retention of what we have learned. And this is why infographics are so great, because it helps us to visualize text in a better way, making it easier for us to quickly understand what is being said. Infographics have the power to make broad or complex ideas more simplified. Rather than having to read through a large amount of information, you can quickly just see what's being pointed out in the text. So it offers an overview for the learner much quicker. So how is this beneficial for training? First of all, it makes it simplify complex concepts and ideas. So infographics simplifies information and makes it into more digestible pieces. And it also kind of projects the text in a different format. It makes us mix up what we make content of in the training, and helps us to have variation in what we offer. In Visma, we have often produced a lot of videos. We are very videos based or centered. That's what we delivers the most. But with infographics, we have another option. It doesn't always have to be videos. So if you think it can be replaced, then that's probably good. And I think the last is the most important. It catches the audience attention more quickly. I think this will be more and more important as we go along, because we are bombarded with a lot of information all the time, and as we're working with training, this is what we are competing against. Actually, we need to catch the attention of the learner. With infographics, we can show more, or we can show faster what we want them to focus on. So instead of expecting them to read a long text, we can just show them an infographic, and then they can take out what they things are necessary. So the infographics will only stand up for these benefits if it includes all of the essential elements. So it's important that the infographics are clear and concise and compelling. Infographics in online training have to be condensed information down to its most basic components, making the data easily digestible for our audience. I think I'll just quickly show you this is an option. It's not all of us that start using this LMS, but in CU we have an LMS that's great when it comes to infographics. It helps us to upload and distribute and add infographics in our courses as a natural component, likewise as videos. So I'd just like to mention it here, but we do have an LMS where this is a possibility, and it makes it much easier to just, instead of having a video, you can have the infographic and instead of a text, for example. Yeah. So the last part is call to action, or how to get started. It's super easy to get started with Canva. There's a free trial, and also $12 or $13 per month if you want to have a paid version. We have one paid version in CU. And we will, of course, also assist you if you have any questions, or if you want to get started, we can help you. And also, if you have created an infographic and you want some feedback, for example, just send it to us, and we are very glad to help you and give you ideas and inspiration. So that was what I had. I don't know if you have any questions or anything you want to discuss. It's all crystal clear.
Still out there?
Yeah, I think it was good. Absolutely.
Awesome.
It was really good with thinking about that, adding visuals like you're saying, because it's like in presentation as well. That makes a big difference in tone. I just challenge everyone to get in touch with you guys and learn how to use it, because it looks good and it's really useful for the people using them. So yeah, just dive into it.
Agree.
people are so shy, so they won't say anything.
Are anyone using infographics today in training or anywhere else? Do you have any experience with it?
No, we're not using it here in Sweden, but I think we will start using it now. It seems really good.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Yes, same thing here in Finland.
Yeah.
Looks pretty good. Yeah.
That's nice to hear. Yeah, I don't know if you don't have any more questions. Thank you for your time, and don't hesitate to contact us if you have any questions. And I'm looking forward to see some great infographics soon.
Just
Yeah.
one short question regarding the license. Is it,
Yeah.
So it's not like CU has a license that people can kind of try out, or
And no, yeah, you can try a free version on Canva. We have an account, but since the what it costs each month is not that high, we see that each business unit can buy their own account if they want to, and then we can have that discussion later if it's if that's the case that all the business units starts using it, for example. So
The account we have only allows so many users, and we've already reached our limit.
yeah. So yeah, we have the account we have reached the amount of users that we can have in that account. But we can help you set up when it comes to the color palette for Visma, for example. We can help you with that if you decide to make your own portal. So it's a fairly cheap program to use. That's the reason. Yeah. Thank you for your time, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.